Here we are coming into the house with Cooper. He's distracted by a dog that's in this yard here. Okay, we always have him sit at the front door and see how we're walking through. If he wants to pull me through, I'm just going to slow down and make sure that we walk through on a loose leash, that he's not pulling me. And I get to do another little left circle to go left to close the door. Because all those left circles you see me doing, stuff like this, out on the street and in the yard and in the house here, it's really good for his training. Sit. Because every time you go left, it teaches him, first of all, the left turn it's a very subtle, but it's a very dominant cue, because he's got to get out of the way of your body. You're hurting him, so to speak, with your body. And you can flick that light on, which you might want to do. And also when you're turning left into a dog and you're making sure that leash is still loose as well, it draws the dog back next to you and teaches him to walk right next to you. So it's the left turn, whenever you have a chance to do it, is a good thing to do. And Cooper's getting bored with me talking, so I'm going to send him on his mat. This is our little mat exercise here, and this is where I live. That's why you got the weights, and you'll see the guitar, and there's actually a guy playing guitar right there. So we've kind of set up a household where stuff is going on. And this is where we practice, because it's more representative of real life. So I'm having him sit in front of the mat with my right hand. I'm going to pat his chest and say, go to your mat. And then when he goes there, I'm going to say down. And help him go down on the mat there. If he doesn't go down right away, just step on the leash there so he goes down. He's a little bit distracted because I have a camera person right there, like 4 feet away from us. And then, good. I'm going to start putting rewards on the mat as long as he stays there. Good. And because we're in this living room here, I can drop the leash and walk away and come back. I always come back and reward him from in front here. Good. And each time that I walk away, I try to walk to a different part of the room. This is where we teach him his basic downstay. Good. I started doing this exercise the first day he came to me, and this is how he learned his downstay. And this is really the foundation exercise for everything, because good. This exercise teaches the dog how to think. And he knows he's waiting here on the mat until I release him. Good. So you notice I'm just walking to different places in the house, always coming back and rewarding him as long as he stays there. If at any time he gets up, I'm going to say no. I'm going to grab the leash here by the handle, and I'm going to step on the leash and put him back, no reward. But if I walk away and come back and he's still there, then I reward him from in front of him the same way every time. And I take this piece of Natural Balance sausage and I put it on the mat and say good. Now he's doing something right now that I want to caution you about. He's touching my hand when I go to reward him. Nope. Good. See what I did? I just bonked him like that. I didn't hurt him, but I kind of gave him the message, hey, back off. Because what you don't want is him to start getting overstimulated on the mat, waiting for the treat to come down and then trying to take it out of your hand. That's disrespectful. It's a reactive behavior, meaning he's anxious, can't wait to get to the food. And this exercise is all about him waiting and having self-control. So you want it to be more like this. See how he's waiting? Good. That's respect. That's focus. That's the same focus you want him to have out there. If you're practicing this little focus exercise with the mat and all the details with the mat that we're showing you now, he's going to be a lot more in control out there and not so immediately reactive when he sees another dog. That's how this stuff applies to what happens out there on the street as well. So since once you can walk around your living room and he can stay there, then you want to start doing things that are harder for him to handle, like walking out of his eyesight. So I'm going to go past the camera person and go into the kitchen out of his eyesight, and then come back. Good. And then I'm going to go behind him because there's a hallway door here. If you're ever going to do something that's difficult for him to handle, it's okay to remind him what you want him to keep doing. So before I go back there and close the door, and I'm going to knock on the door too, before I go back there, I'm going to say down. I'll go back here, behind him, knock on the door. So you made a mistake. So no, I'm going to come in, I'm going to say no. I'm going to just step into him, put him back on the mat where he's supposed to be, and I'm going to do it again. But just to make sure that I don't get 2 mistakes in a row, I'm going to do something else, have a success, then I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to go back over here into the kitchen. I'm going to come back. I'm going to reward him and tell him good. Good. Now I'm going to go try it again. Down. See, now he's doing it correctly. He gets it. I'm going to go back in front of him like this. Good. He gets a reward. So all this training we've done with him has taught him how to think. And doing this mat exercise teaches him how to figure stuff out. So obviously, because it's always the same, every time he makes a mistake, we correct him in the way I just showed you. We try it again, and he gets it. He gets reward. So we've now taught him to do something new and better than he had before. Down. Do it one more time. We get 2 in a row here. So 2 times in a row, we have a success. Good. I'm giving him a double reward, because if he does something exceptional or does something for the first time that he didn't do before, maybe made some mistakes and then he does it correctly for the first time, give him a double reward. If you've been given him 1 piece, give him 2 pieces. Then he'll never forget what he did to get that extra reward. And now we can move up to doing things that are even more difficult. Also, I want you to show the person sitting on the sofa, just so you see that, messing around with the guitar. It's just I just have him here just for another distraction. And also, you can do things like show me, if you could, can you scoot over just no, right there. Either way, that's fine. So you can like go and when the dog's in the mat in your living room, you can go and sit down on the sofa, because look at him. Because it can very often make the dog jump up and come over to you. And you can tell he wanted to, but he didn't. That was hard for him to do, so he gets a double reward for this too. Good. And that's actually something I haven't practiced that much with him. So show me again. You didn't see him, but show him. So he hopped up and tried to get up, and then stopped himself and went back, which means he was reactive, and then he stopped himself because he's thinking. And that's really good. Good. I want to reward him big time for that. So I gave him 2 pieces that time again. So what you'll see him start to do is he'll start to be his old reactive self, and then his thinking process kicks in, which is what he's learned here, and he stopped himself. You didn't get to see it because I told the camera person to look at me, but he popped up just a little bit and then put himself back, and that's what he got rewarded for. That's a good thing. It means he's thinking. So now we're going to do something that's even harder. We're going to step outside, and I'm going to do something that usually gets most dogs worked up. I'm going to knock on the door, and I'm going to ring the doorbell, and actually I'm going to open this hallway door so you can hear the doorbell better. He's being really good. I'm going to reward him again. Good. So this is usually the biggie for most dogs, and the goal is he stays there and stays calm and doesn't move until I come back. So since this is more difficult, I'm going to say down before I go out. I'm going to go out here, I'm going to knock on the door. I'm also going to knock on the windows. See, that's me. I don't know if you can see me through the windows. Knocking on the windows. I'm going to ring the doorbell. And Cooper is way too smart for me. And he's there. Good boy. Good. 3 pieces. That was a big reward, because that's really hard to do, and most dogs can't do that. So he's really come a long way. I'm going to do it one more time. Down. And are you showing Cooper when I go out too? Okay. We have a crazy doorbell here. Good. So he's doing really well. So we do this exercise in the living room first, because in most households, this is where the most traffic is, and you've got the front door. You can walk to the kitchen or to the hallway or whatever upstairs. There's usually in the main area by the front door, you can go different directions and come back, so it's a great place to practice his down stay on the mat. And this exercise builds up his tolerance to stress. And I don't know if you see he's panting, or he was just a second ago. It's not because he needs water, it's because He's easily stressed out, and you see that on the street when he sees other dogs. He gets stressed out by any time we're activating his brain and teaching him how to think because it's new to him. It's a little bit stressful because learning new things is stressful, but he's doing great, and he is good. Even though he's a little bit stressed, he's handling it, and every time we practice this stuff, he gets a little bit better. And practicing this in your environment and using these types of distractions in your household makes him better out on the street as well. It also improves the relationship between you and the dog. It really, if you're doing this exercise with him, he's going to start perceiving you more as the person in charge instead of just being somebody that he, or something that he guards, a possession he guards out on the street and tries to chase other dogs away from. So this is really good for your relationship with him too. One more exercise we can do with him. We'll try this. It's not easy for some dogs. I'm going to take a piece of food and say down, and I'm going to start farther away like this. And see how he's waiting, looking back at me? Good. I'm going to give it to him. Each time I put it down, I'm going to put it a little bit closer. Down. I'm reminding him what to keep doing. A little bit closer. He needs to wait until I give it to him. Good. We'll give it closer and closer. See how his paws are off the mat? I'm going to just kind of step on his paw. I'm not going to step on him, but I'm going to touch them so he backs up a little bit. And you can do this. He'll just back up. I barely touched his paws with the soles of my boots because I want his paws and I want him all the way on the mat. Down. I'm going to put it closer where he could easily reach it. So if you're going to do, nope. If you're going to do this exercise, you have to make sure that you're close enough. Are you showing me? You have to make sure that you're close enough to grab that if he tries to go for it, or put your foot in the way, or like this, because you can't let him get to it. So if you're going like this, you have to make sure that if he goes for it, see? Good boy. See how he looked back at me? Good. He's waiting for permission. He's waiting for me to actually give him the reward. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to put this really close. Down. Really close. He could easily get that. Nope. See how he's waiting? Good. That's a huge lesson for the dog. The lesson is everything good comes to you as long as you wait for it to come through me. And if you're doing this exercise, doing all these things, he's going to behave with you as he is behaving with me on the video. It's just going to take a little practice with you, learning how to do things this way. That's why we film it all for you, but that's also why we're going to practice with you in person. But also, it could take a week or two for you to really get in the groove of things like I am, because he's used to behaving with you a different way. So it's almost like you guys are speaking a different language to each other. So you have to, he knows this language now with me. Now you have to learn the language so that he can do this with you. And it just takes a little practice. And that's why we're making sure we're explaining everything to you. So just get used to doing this stuff. And he's going to change the way he sees you, and he's going to start doing this for you as well. Sometimes it's perfect though. It's just right off the bat, the people learn it and the dogs are good and everything just goes smoothly. Sometimes it's a few days, or sometimes it's a week or so. But if you just keep doing it and stick with it, you'll learn how to do what I'm doing, and he'll start behaving and relating to you the way he relates to me. So the way to take him off this mat is you pick up the leash like this. You go stand back next to him, just like a downstay in public. Stand next to him, pat your leg and say, okay. And I'm going to put him in this crate here.